This is the CMU EDUcast, all about issues and new ideas in education in Thailand. I'm Chris Mangum. Today, we'll continue our conversation with Ajahn Pakdeekul Ratana, Assistant Professor of Social Studies at Chiang Mai University's Faculty of Education. In this episode, we'll hear fascinating details of her research in traditional cultural and gender studies of the Lanna people of northern Thailand. We pick up now where we left off last time. The Ajahn story of earning her PhD in history at the University of Münster in Germany.
I think for me, the experience in Münster, in Germany, is a great memory for me because it's as I told you that it's the first time for me in Europe and the first time for me in my life, to go to abroad like that. And Münster is a beautiful city too. And Münster is, I can call that is a city of university, like Chiang Mai,
We would say it's a college town.
Yes, college town. And Münster is German people name this city as a bicycle city because people prefer to use the bicycle. And plenty of bicycle at that city, in that city.
There's something that happens when you travel to a place that's very different, and I think it happened to me when I came to Thailand. Is your brain, something happens in your brain. It's very exciting, and it's also very difficult, and it's everything at once.
In the beginning, it's very struggle for me because it's expensive. Because in 2006, it's a time for the Tom Yum Goong crisis in Thailand. The business was down at that time, and I remember the currency exchange. €1 at that time, €1 equal 50 baht. It's very expensive compared today, like 34 baht per euro. Yeah, that's why.
What is Tom Yum Goong is a food?
Tom Yum Goong is a food, the name of the food.
Instead of a soup.
But it's it's a good one.
Yeah.
And
why was it called the Tom Yum Goong crisis?
Because it's a economic crisis at that time, after the economic bubble in Thailand, and it's explode like a subprime crisis in US many years ago. It's similar like that. It depends. It started from Thailand and spread to the other countries in Southeast Asia. That's why they call it Tom Yum Goong crisis.
I see.
Yeah.
So it was an economic crisis. And what was, just to follow that trail for a second, what was the cause of that crisis? What was it?
Because
fuel prices or was it trading?
It's trading.
Trading.
From the bubble, before that time, Thailand seems to be the industrial country with a big bubble in economy. People enjoy like around 90s decade, at that time.
I think this was also the same crisis internationally. We had a bubble burst around 2006, 2007.
Yes, at that time.
So everyone was suffering. Everything was being devalued.
Yes, and IMF, came to the Thai financial system, and they control many things for that because we've got debt from economy. That's why the people got poor at that time. Poorer, I mean.
Interesting. So now back to Münster and the bicycles and what river? What water is there?
River Rhine.
The Rhine River.
Yeah,
so you're on the Rhine River.
Yeah.
And the weather, suddenly it gets cold. You have seasons.
That's my German friend told me that actually in that zone, German zone, in Münster is warmer than other part compared to Hamburg.
Right.
Münster is a city in the border with
the Netherlands.
Right. Not far. I took a local train around 45 minutes from Münster to Netherlands, the borderland with Netherlands, and it's good one. for the life there, because the college town that we said. So many students, foreigner students, and international students, and also the local, like German students too. And due to it's a college town, so it's a international atmosphere. Like the students, international students had friends from China, from Asia, many from Asia too. And Münster University is well known in medical, and social science too, humanities too.
What were you able to bring from your expertise as a person who grew up in this part of Thailand? Were you able to bring them perspective? Were you able to bring them insight into this culture?
Yes, due to my dissertation is about Lanna and Lanchang. I remember that the date of defensive.
The defense of
yes.
the dissertation.
Yeah, dissertation. At that day, I decided to wear my traditional costume, with the traditional costume, Lanna costume, with full option of my outfit, and with hair, everything like northern Lanna women, because my decision about that too, and my supervisor and co-supervisor were surprised. Oh, what you did? Because in October it's cold. It's cold because in autumn it's cold there, but. That the costume, Lanna costume, is with a thin outfit, not warm enough, but it's cold. But I prepare myself to do that because when I show my first presentation and I show my outfit and my look to the supervisor and co-supervisor and the referee too, committee too. And all of them were surprised about my outfit. And when I present my presentation, I think that they could imagine what happened in the long time ago about the Lanna woman and Lansang woman from my outfit too.
So they met a Lanna woman.
Yes.
In person.
Yes.
After
a real one.
A real one.
A real one. And when I present about the culture, I can give that example from myself because I was born here. I am a northern woman, for sure, and I represent myself on the dissertation topic too. I think I've got the magna cum laude.
Wow.
Yeah, from these two.
This is amazing. The highest
yes.
honor.
Honor.
Yes.
And I think I would like to give the honor to my outfit too.
It's dressing for success.
Yes.
What were your findings? What did you find in your research?
On my dissertation?
Yeah, yes.
I found that Lanna women, we had the special roles in family, in society, and even in economy, and also in a politics status too. Since long time ago, in northern Lanna, northern Thai called Lanna, we had two queens. Queens are as the real queen, that Ayutthaya and Ratanakosin never had.
So two queens at the same time or two
different times?
Different times. So you had kings, but you also had queens. You had
also
men and women.
Yes.
In charge.
Like gender studies, I studied that. In politics, we had two queens at least. And behind the throne, many female behind the throne of the king, like one of the noble, like the queen mother, king mother. That king mother, she chose the king. She could choose anyone to be the king because she could push the throne to anybody that she preferred. So many stories in history, the evidence show that. And also in the economy, women control the economy because, in the local economy, women control that. But in the long distance trade, yes, for male, because it's a long way, they how to say the silk road, they link to the north of Thailand too in that time. So a male merchant, they use that road to have the trade. But in the local one, women control everything. Yeah.
Can you think of a reason? This is not common. We hear mostly about patriarchal societies and cultures.
No, not Lanna.
But not Lanna was different. And there must have been some reasons why.
I found the evidence from the missionary. How to say the right of the missionary who came here in the north of Thailand around 18th century. They note that why they came here and tried to study the society, Lanna society, because of women. They came here and found that in family, women is top, mother as a mother and as the wife. They were in the top rank of family. How to say that? From the law too, the law showed that women has a special roles, special status. For example, the Inheritance Act. It said that for women could receive sometimes more than men, more than the son, the daughter, receive the inheritance more than the son. And many circumstances and also evidence show that women in family is the highest rank in family. And you know that by the function, as the mother raise the children and easy to reproduce the every concept to their children. So that's why the missionary took that special status and they established the first school, Dara Vidyalai is the first school in Chiang Mai. And that is...
So, Dara Vidyalai means
yes.
university, right? Or Mahavidyalai means university.
Yes.
But Dara Vidyalai means...
It's a school.
It's a school, right.
The name, the first name is Girls School in Chiang Mai. The missionary established that, and they started with the girls, not the boys, beginning. So, and they know that if they would like to change the religions, the religions, the concept, the belief, they should start from women, because women can control the family. I mean, in the northern Thai, in the Lanna context. And they said that in the missionary note, they note that if you can change women's belief, you can change the family belief too.
And therefore society's belief.
Yes. I found that, and I proposed this and I present this in the dissertation too. It's just one example of the distinguished roles of women.
Now, Germany, I always think of as being a patriarchal society. But however, when you were there, Angela Merkel was
yes, already.
And already.
I think it's different.
Prime Minister, and now has been in her position for over nearly 20 years, I think.
Yeah.
And
I think it's different concept. The Western concept about the gender. It means that the equal rights between male and female. But I would like to focus on the rights. When we talk about the human rights, the feminism, we talk about the rights, the woman's right, the man's right, the children's right. Everything's rights. Oh, sorry. But in my opinion, I propose in my dissertation too, I would like to propose one of my theory. It's not only the rights that we can talk, but also the function of the people in society. Like a woman not we have not only the rights, but we also have the function like a mother, a wife, a daughter, and every function, every status. We have our own function, but if you follow your function, it's easier or when you combine the rights and function all together, you will more understand the women right or even the status of women in the society. I cannot explain well, but in quick, but something like that.
We can talk more about this in our next conversation.
Okay.
But I also want to ask you about, when I think of gender studies, I think of the work of Judith Butler. I think of performativity. And maybe this is just I have a basic understanding of what this is about. But does that play into what you're describing about function? I know Thailand seems different to me in its cultural processing of gender.
Because you know that for the Thailand, we have the fundamental belief is Buddhism. So that's why the way of Buddhism, how to say, we use that way of Buddhist way to our own everyday life, like the relationship between man and woman and other relationship too. We use that belief, religions, Buddhism, to be our own our way of life. Kind of that is different from like Germany. Germany, they are the Catholic, right? The Christian.
Or Protestant, originally Catholic, and then thanks to Martin Luther, the birthplace of Protestantism.
Mostly. Right. And I think if we have a different belief like that, the life different too, from the attitude, from the thoughts, from the behavior, is different too. For example, between man and woman, in the Tipitaka. Tipitaka is a Buddhist Bible. Tipitaka talk about the function between man and woman, also husband and wife too, also and son and daughter too. In Tipitaka talk about that, and in Tipitaka show 9 types of a wife, and yes,
nine types
of wife.
What are the 9?
And each types of wife, they have different function. For example, the Mata Pariya means wife as mother. This kind of wife, they will take care of you, like mother, kind of that. Or sister, Kanitha Pariya or sister, wife as a sister. They will pay respect to you and very humble to you, kind of that. And one type of wife is a Chori Pariya or wife as a thief. You will take your money like that.
Are there 9 kinds of corresponding husbands too?
The husband not divided many types of that, but only wife.
Only wife.
But the function of husband, the Tipitaka said that the main function or roles of husband is will take care of your wife and always pay respect to them too. Yeah.
Well, this is the greatest launching point for another conversation with you next time.
Yeah.
And we just began to touch on some of the differences, at least in your experience, between Thailand and Germany. Maybe more to talk about this way, and also to talk about. I'm fascinated with these 9 different types. In our
of life.
That's just brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us today. We were talking to Dr.Pakdeekul Ratana from Chiang Mai University's Social Studies and Education Department. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, please.
Thanks for joining us this week for the CMU EDUcast. I'm Chris Mangum. See you next time.